proximity to the international shipping routes, Vizag Steel Plant has immense long-term strategic and economic value. Since the advent of neoliberalism, successive central governments, guided by neoliberal policies of liberalization, privatization and globalization, attempted to weaken and privatize RINL. Trade unions mobilized steel workers and people nationwide to resist these moves through sustained struggles. Historic struggles have been conducted in continuity. Ironically, Gangavaram Port, originally meant to serve the RINL, was handed over to private corporate interests, forcing RINL to pay exorbitant charges to use infrastructure meant for its integrated operations. Contrary to the claims that public sector enterprises are inefficient, Vizag Steel Plant proved its viability by earning profits and repaying all loans by 2004. The government itself approved expansion of 3.4 million tons to 6.3 million tons, with plans to reach 7.3 million tons, recognizing its potential. VSP has contributed over 57,789 crores of rupees by March 2025 to central and state government state exchequers through taxes and dividends, besides generating large-scale employment. The current financial stress of RINL is not due to workers' inefficiency, but deliberate policy of discrimination with a sabotaging approach. Unlike other public and private sector steel plants, VSP was denied captive iron ore mines, while others spend about 2,400 rupees per ton on iron ore, those who are having captive mines. Owing to their having captive mines, VSP pays over 8,000, almost 4 times per ton, making it structurally uncompetitive. Repeated demands for captive mines were ignored, forcing workers to launch historic struggles, including the Blood for Mines movement and mass protests such as 25-kilometer long Padayatra in 2018. Instead of correcting these distortions, the BJP-led central government decided on 27 January 2021 for strategic sale of RINL entirely, selling it lock, stock and barrel without consulting the parliament, state government, workers or the public. The decision clearly aimed to hand over a valuable national asset to favored corporate and foreign multinational interest. The decision triggered unprecedented mass resistance across Andhra Pradesh, uniting workers, farmers, students, professionals, traders, cultural organizations, and political parties, except the BJP. The argument that losses justify privatization is misleading, as losses arise from the denial of captive mines, heavy interest burdens due to delayed government funding, and discriminatory policy-induced disadvantages, conditions no private company faces. Sustained struggle forced the government to announce rupees 11,440 crores revival package, but this has practically gone for debt servicing as per the ministerial directive rather than strengthening the productive or new material security, raw material security. Workers, both permanent and contract, face severe distress, including partial wage payments, non-deposit of provident funds, contributions, forced VRS, etc. During October 2024 to 25, workforce, both permanent and contract, has been drastically reduced forcibly by more than 10,000. The strength of the permanent workers on roll has been reduced from 18,273 in 2015 to present 9,378. More than 8,000 contract workers working in production operation for decades have been forcibly thrown out in arrogant violation of all statutory obligations, without any notice and payment of compensation, and most unscrupulously misutilizing the biometric attendance system. Permanent workers have been illegitimately denied their wage revision due to them since 1/1/2017, and now, after drastic cut in the workforce, both regular and contract, the management at the dubiously intended dictate of the government has been planning to outsource the entire operation of all the crucial shop floors to private contractor, signaling a conspiracy of privatization through backdoor. The management, with a dubious intention, has forcibly created an emergency-like atmosphere of terror and onslaughts in RINL. The workers unitedly has still been resisting such dubious conspiratorial move, braving all repression. The conference notes with pride that despite repression, financial strangulation and demoralization attempt, the united struggle of RINL workers, supported by the people of Andhra Pradesh and broader working class movement, has so far prevented corporate takeover. The struggle draws strength from the long tradition of resistance of steel workers and their trade unions and the Steel Workers Federation of India against privatization of public sector steel. The 18th Conference of CITU, therefore, unequivocally opposes the privatization of RINL Vizag Steel Plant in any form, rejects asset stripping, disinvestment, the move to outsource shop floor operation and strategic sale of public sector steel plants, demands allocation of captive iron ore mines to RINL and full support for expansion and modernization, condemns retrenchment, forced VRS, wage suppression and denial of statutory benefits, reaffirms that steel is a strategic sector and Vizag Steel Plant must remain in public ownership, accountable to the people and the Parliament. The conference declares that the struggle to save Visakhapatnam Ukku is inseparable from the broader struggle to defend public sector enterprises, national resources and workers' rights against corporate-driven neoliberal policies. The conference calls upon the working class and the people of the country to launch a determined resistance struggle against the privatization and related onslaughts, including that of RINL/Vizag Steel Plant. Comrade, this is the proposal of a resolution placed before you to reiterate the resolve of the working people of steel industry in particular and the workers in general in this part of the country, the ongoing struggle, to reiterate the determination to carry on the struggle and just not to allow Vizag Steel Plant to be privatized at any cost and by any means. I request comment acceptance of this resolution by all of you. Thank you.
Comrades, the resolution has been, oh comrades, resolution has been placed by the General Secretary. Those who adopt the resolution, accept the resolution, please raise your hands. I think there